It is dark. Light from the wizard's staff behind you flickers. Colours of the rainbow dance across the clear old plastered walls. There are no indentations, no runes, no hieroglyphs. The halfling ahead searches, tense, hesitant. He uses every instinct, every ounce of knowledge, everything innately possible for him to use to find what he may see ahead. Where are the traps? Can he hear the beasts? He knows this is not right. Something here smells, not just of age, but of treachery, of despair. He has been here before, not in this exact place, true, but he knows the routine. He knows the danger. Too many of his fellows have fallen before him, and these few who stood at the rear, they trust him, they need him. All rests upon his shoulders. Can he see holes in the walls, the floor, the ceiling? Can he smell gas?
Silence. Eerie silence. You bring lights to bear as you clear the dust from your eyes. Ringing ears. Clear. Heads. Once more. Alert. Prepared. And then ahead of you see the most awful sight. For where your friend once stood is now little more than a pair of charred and small warrior boots. And it appears almost as if someone has emptied in equal measures minced beef, butcher's offal and ashes into a neat pile, placing one ear neatly on the side and spinning around on the top, still sparking blue from the blast, what is left of an old halfling's helmet.
Or I could have simply said, you've lost 57 hit points. Which do you prefer? Be honest. Now you can prefer either. I watched a video this afternoon. Now this is not criticism of anything or anybody. But so, this video is short and it's entitled something like Quickest D&D Death Ever. And it is short, I agree. But there's all these people dressed up, ready. They put a lot of effort into getting ready. Now, there might be famous people. I don't know. I wouldn't know a famous person if I fell over one in the corridor. I might be suspicious. One, because I'd have asked, what are you doing in my corridor? And two, I don't have a corridor. But I digress. So, they're all dressed up. They've got candles burning, they've got a big Dungeon Master screen, they put a lot of effort in, these people, whoever they are. And suddenly, boom! And the Dungeon Master leans across and he went, you've taken 57 hit points. And he'll go, oh no! And that's the end. Where's the narrative? Imagine you go to the hospital. I'm imagining it. Okay, I've imagined it. So, I don't know where, okay, accident and emergency, A&E, if you're sort of in the UK. What do they call it in USA? Emergency room. So you come out of a dungeon, you've been in a dungeon, it's madness. And you've escaped. And you've managed to get out one of your colleagues, one of your team, somebody you care about. And you 3 days in a makeshift stretcher, you've got them to a town, and in the town there's a monastery. It's a monastery of clerical healing monks, and you take him there, and they rush him in. They say, "Oh no, what's wrong?" And the cleric says, "What exactly is wrong with him?" And you say, "He's got 39 hit points of damage." And all the clerics go, "Hang on, I specialise in eyes. I'm ear, nose and throat. I do broken arms. I'm more of a kidney man myself. Oh, I can't tell you that. I can only tell you the number of hit points he's got." Or, worse still, you play a game, you open a door, trap door, boom, 16 hit points. Okay. So how many hit points have you got left now? I've got 2. Okay, we'll carry on then. Are there any penalties? Nah, just carry on. When you get to none, you're dead. But apart from that, you'll be right as rain. I don't like any of that. I've played all them sorts of games, and I've played them recently. This is not like old school or whatever. This is different people doing different things. Now, it's not for me to comment. I'll let you in for a secret. I'm moving house 9th of February, and I've just been sent by a friend an itinerary of all the community events where I'm going, because it's dead isolated. And guess what they have every fortnight? Dungeons and Dragons. Yes. So people have been saying, "Oh, you'll not find a war games club." I've already found one. And I've already met a bloke who has a factory that imports figures and cards and scenery. I've not even moved in yet, so I'm more than happy. Now, I don't know what sort of hits dungeon thing they're going to run, and I'm not going to be going in and saying, "Don't do that," because I'll get a slap. I know what folk are like around here. I'm not going to do that. Okay, I don't want to end up in a scene from The Wicker Man. I'm not doing that. But there are different ways of doing things. So, in my old Dungeons and Dragons guide that I bought in 1978, I wrote a sort of critical hit chart, and I based it on a percentage dice, and I'm going to show you a picture of it. Well, over time, I thought percentage dice, I don't need a percentage dice for this. And so instead of having a percentage dice which could randomly be anything from poke up the nose to leg blown off, I thought what I'll do is I'll park the body on a D20, which I can look at dead quick. I'm a dungeon master. I throw that while they're talking and I'm explaining. I go, quick glance, 15. Right. So I know what 15 is. It's on that chart there. And I can just read that into the story, nice and flowing, and I don't need to break. I don't just say, "Everybody stop," while I wade through my book and find the right page. I can keep the narrative going. It'd be rubbish. Can you imagine being at the cinema and everyone at the cinema, and you're in the middle of a film and somebody gets stabbed? And you say, whoa, hang on a minute. I've got to director's got to come on with his script. I'll tell you what, look, just be patient. I'll be a minute. You can go. You don't have to stay. Right. He's dead. Oh. You don't do that, do you? Bang, you've got to go for it. Errol Flynn style. I've got a bit excited now. Life is exciting. If life's not exciting, you're in the wrong job. I'm not in a job, so I must be in the right job. Now, I went from the D20, part of the body. Oh, it's a 7. It's my stomach. And then I throw another D20, and I go to the stomach wounds for what I've thrown. So I'll throw a 9, and a 9 it'll have head, body, limbs. And 9 for limbs will be whatever it says. What I've done, more or less successfully, I've tried to do a chart for you. So I'm now going to show you the charts I've come up with. So I've got one that's parts of the body, And then the next one is severity, and so on. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to include mental health, morale, poisons, recovery rates, and all those sorts of things, detrimental effects on that wound. You know, I've had my right arm blown off, I can no longer pick my nose. That's the sort of fellow, that's the sort of detail we're looking for in this man's army. I don't want to give anybody nightmares, I just want it to be a bit more fun. I want it to be a bit faster. I want there to be consequences. I want healers to have proper discussions. We had a healer in one of our games for years and years and years. She was called Hora, H-O-R-A, halfling. And she was the party's healer. Pretty much her only skill, or her only knowledge, was to pat you with a damp towel. Cold flannel. I've got an arrow in my eye, but I know what to do. Cold flannel. Is that better? It's not worse, I suppose. Fair play to you. I've grazed me elbow. Cold flannel. Have you not got any ointments or unguents or salves? Nah. Got a flannel. Do you ever wash it? No. Disease, that's another one I'm going to include. So, there you are. I'm going to show you my charts now, if you'll pardon the expression. And then, at the end, I am going to put the charts on for quite a long time. The reason being, not to bore you, not to give the end cards something to link on, because I'm not going to put any end cards on this one, because it'll obscure what you're going to see. The idea is that you can take little photos, or you can write it down, or you can go, what an idiot, I'm not doing that. Unsubscribe, 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 run away. Find a Dungeons and Dragons site where they actually talk sense, because this guy is off his chump. Yes, I am. But I have been playing Dungeons and Dragons, and I have been off my chump since the very first days of Dungeons and Dragons. Have you? Ta-da, Chuck!